Goodwin delivers the free kick in. It's a good ball, and it's the opening goal from the towering Harry Souttar. That's a great run from Metcalf. Squares the ball, and Brandon Borello has his second goal in green and gold. Metcalf, he dinks the ball back in. Great header, Mitch Duke. Borello, first time off the post, played back in, and Mitch Duke at the double. 2 goals in 2.5 minutes. Here is Boss on the attack. McLaren is there. The flag stays down. Now Souttar back for Luongo. His shot palmed out only as far as McLaren. And that's 6. Here's Miller again. The cross in. McLaren this time is there for his hat-trick. Australia 7, Bangladesh 0.
It was an emphatic start for the Socceroos as their journey to reach the 2026 World Cup began. 7 unanswered goals, and, well, it could have been more in the early hours of this morning here of Oz, and it's the early evening over in Kuwait. They look to build on that performance as they face world number 96 Palestine and Jaiba Al Ahmed International Stadium. We have a huge morning right here coming your way, and it is 5 p.m. kickoff time over in Kuwait. Hello and welcome. I'm Tara Rushton. It is great to have your company, and that of the gents alongside me, some legends who have donned the green and gold. A very good morning to Luke Wilkshire and Alex Bross. Welcome, team.
Thank you. Early morning it is.
It was. I could barely get my words out at the beginning then. As I said, I haven't really been practising long enough. Well, it was, as I said, absolutely ruthless against Bangladesh last week, and the Socceroos, they won't want to take their foot off the accelerator, that is for sure. But it will undoubtedly be an emotional evening for the Palestine national team, who arrive amidst the devastating conflict of what is taking place in the region. The dream, the goal, it does remain the same for Palestine to qualify for a very first World Cup, and then on the flip side for the Socceroos, they want to qualify for the World Cup and not have to do it the long way.
Yeah, for sure. Look, you know, nobody likes to see what's going on in the world at this point in time, and you know, for this 90 minutes, the Palestinian players can focus on football, something that's a lot more positive. And the Socceroos, like you said, they started off well, and they want to go on and go the shortest route possible to get to this next World Cup.
And the first game that we saw, perfect start, scoring 7 goals. We wondered, you know, where and how the goals were going to come. And, you know, obviously Souttar got us off to a fly after 4 minutes, calmed the nerves. And then from there, all the strikers scored some good goals, which was good to see, and a great momentum builder, I think, for this one. You can take a look at the starting lineup on your screen just there. Just to quickly run through it, there are 4 changes, 3 of those in defence. Ryan Strain gets the nod at right back. Kai Rolls comes into centre-back, as is Bayic on the left side of him. And Martin Boyle, who joined the team in Kuwait, comes in as well, flaring up of his knee. The man on screen there, Metcalf, Bacchus, Irvine. That midfield, the trio that it is, they've remained the same. But Connor Metcalf, he looks to be what is becoming a pivotal member of this national team. Yeah, look, he was excellent in that game, and he drifted out wide and then cut inside. He just knew where to position himself on the field throughout the match, and he was fantastic. He set up Mitch Duke's goal, set up another one as well, actually. Just he was between him and Miller, their combination there in creating chances, the overlap that we wanted to see from Miller, getting in behind. I think tonight is going to be a difficult match as well with, you know, with how I think Palestine is going to sit in and try and frustrate us a lot more. So it is interesting to see how you know, Metcalf goes. He didn't get the glowing plaudits. Bacchus, who is on the screen right there. You're a big fan of him, though, Luke. He's so industrious in the work that he does in midfield. What impresses you most about him? Yeah, look, I think he's really come on, especially since the World Cup. He's made that midfield position his own. We you know, talk about Metcalf and with Moy going and him filling in, Bacchus now being an ever-present since the World Cup. He's moved to St Mirren, has come on leaps and bounds. He doesn't get the praise, because a lot of others do, but you know, he's really holding that midfield together, anchoring it there, allowing Irvine to do the box-to-box work. Well, let's hear what the gaffer has planned ahead of tonight. Michael Zapponi caught up with him in Kuwait and asked him about the addition of Rolls, Bayic, and I'm missing one, Martin Boyle as well, and whether that brought the experience and was a reason for his changes tonight.
You know, we used 16 players the other night against Bangladesh, and you know, obviously being here in the Middle East is a bit different for some of the boys, especially the young ones, so getting experienced players on the field that have played here before is important.
Ryan Strain comes in as well as your 4th change. Lewis Miller was very good the other night. Why that change?
Yeah, because you know, Strain did very well against England, and we're creating depth, and you making sure we got competition for every position on the field.
You've done some analysis on Palestine. What are you expecting from them tonight? It'll be a different game, I'd imagine, from what you saw in Melbourne.
Yeah, of course. I think Palestine is, obviously a level above and or a few, and but for me, it's we know what they're about. It's more about us and our mentality and attitude that we go on there and give the nation everything.
Thanks, Graham.
Thank you.
Let's take a look at the Lions of Canaan now. Palestine, who arrive, world number 96, of course, are chasing a very first World Cup appearance. Their coach, Makram Daboub, who is a former goalkeeping coach. He was their goalkeeping coach at the Asian Cup in 2019, becoming head coach in 2021, and he will lead them to January's Asian Cup as well. They topped their group on their way to qualifying for that. They defeated the Philippines, Mongolia and Yemen. They've got 2 Asian Cup appearances so far in 2015 and 2019, a Challenge Cup win and a bronze medal at the 99 Arab Games. Of course, he has been really vocal around how difficult it has been to get the squad together. He hasn't been able to select every single player as well, with what is happening in the region too. And it was a 0-0 draw in their opening game against Lebanon. Their goalkeeper was really, really strong in that one. He made an 89th minute save, actually, which was fantastic. But this is such a huge occasion for this team and what they could possibly do.
It is, and look, this is a free swing for them. They're the underdogs, and they've got nothing to lose here.
Absolutely. And for Australia, just to build on what we did last game.
All right, we are off to a short break. Do not go anywhere as the Socceroos, their road to the World Cup in 2026 continues right here on Network 10. Don't go anywhere. Will it be the perfect start on the road to the 2026 World Cup as the Socceroos prepare to face Palestine at Jabal Al Ahmed International Stadium, an immense ground over 60,000 in capacity, and the Socceroos have played here before. A year and a half ago at the time, they were on the road to qualify for the World Cup in Qatar, that in 2022. A very warm welcome to our viewers that join us from WA as well in the early hours of this morning for us over in the eastern states. This is Group 1, the group that Australia, of course, are in. They got off to a cracking start with that 7-0 result v Bangladesh. Lebanon and Bangladesh are actually in action right now. It's 1-1 currently, so this is a live ladder. Of course, team, at the end of the day, you want to finish top of this group at this stage of qualifying. A win tonight for the Socceroos and they are through to the third round, I should say. So 18 teams progress to this stage, made up of the top 2 countries from each of the 9 groups. So these 18 are separated into 3 groups of 6 nations. The top 2 from each group is going to the World Cup in 2026. So in summary, what you can say is the Socceroos win tonight, they go through to the next round. If they finish top in their group, they're through to the World Cup. If they finish second in their group, they're through to the World Cup. That's what we want to do because there'll be 6 spots locked in at this point. 3rd and 4th place from the above group form 2 new groups. They play in a mini tournament. The top country in each group secures the 2 remaining spots and 1 spot is divided via an intercontinental playoff, as I can see Alex Brosk and Luke Wilkshire's eyes roll in the back of their head. All we have to do, win tonight. We go through and your top 2 in the next stage and we're through, and then we don't have to do the long haul, of course, because we know how that has played out for the Socceroos every single time in the last 2 campaigns. All right, let's get some more reaction now from over at Jabal Al Ahmed Stadium now and hear from Craig Goodwin.
Well, Craig, 7 for the team the other night. Will we see the same aggressive approach this evening?
Yeah, look, I think the game plan, although we'll have some tweaks, the main game plan won't change for us. We want to be aggressive in our play. We want to play an attacking brand of football, and we want to create chances. And I think that's the mindset we've got to have tonight. But I do think it's going to be a very different game from the other night.
You had the extra day in Melbourne, so 2 days here instead of 3. How does that help you? How does that change the prep?
Yeah, it's just trying something different to obviously try and give the boys a bit more recovery time, and obviously had the charter flight over and had treatment on there as well. So hopefully that has given us that extra bit of time with the short break in between games. But I think that aside, we just go in with the same mindset that we have, and yeah, take it from there.
Slight tweak to the front 3. Martin Boyle comes in. What are you expecting from him tonight?
Yeah, look, I think people know what to expect from Martin when he comes into the team, and obviously, we did without him in the first game, but he's such a positive and impactful player for us. So it's great for him to be back in the lineup, and I'm expecting big things.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
That's right. Martin Ball did join the team in Kuwait. He had a knee that was flaring up. He wasn't going to make the journey all the way to Australia. What will you get with him? You'll get pace and you'll get all the good vibes all over the pitch. We saw Craig Goodwin return to the fold against Bangladesh a week earlier in the Saudi Pro League. He was facing Cristiano Ronaldo, which isn't too bad considering he was playing at Adelaide United last season. There is truly, though, in the green and gold, no one that has a sweeter delivery, though, team. I mean, his delivery is the best.
No doubt about it. That left foot, the delivery into the box, any striker or any defender in Harry Souttar loves it, the kind of balls that he puts in here. We saw this in the Bangladesh game, and he puts it on a 5-cent piece here. And when you got the likes of Harry Souttar, Burgess in the box, guys that can attack the ball, it's a dream. It's a dream, right? And he's only actually scored 2 goals for Socceroos, but the amount of assists he creates from set pieces is just phenomenal.
And it is what you need. I mean, there's no point having guys like Burgess and Souttar in the box if the delivery isn't as good as what it is. So, look, it's great to have someone like him who can put the ball where you need it every time, because sometimes in frustrating matches where you're not really creating match, it could be a set piece that decides it. And his delivery on set pieces, corners, through balls as well, everything, all over the park has been phenomenal.
You talk about set pieces. We're going to take a look at who's had the lion's share of goal scoring under Graham Arnold, and seeing the big tall Harry Souttar up there, and we're talking about the deliveries from Craig Goodwin. What this tells me a story of is that Harry Souttar and set pieces are pretty much Australia's main route to goal.
Yeah, we've seen that. Look, and you've got to play to your strengths. Arnie always talks about it. You want to bring players in and play to their strengths. So when you've got someone like Harry Souttar in the box and people that can attack the ball, Jackson Irvine's another one who's very good in the box. We get balls into the box. You've got goal scorers, you've got poachers. Jamie McLaren poaches in the 6-yard box. Mitchell Duke gets his lion's share of goals as well.
No, he does, and it's no surprise, really. I mean, with how tall he is, especially when we're playing against these smaller countries where physically they're not anywhere near. And to be fair, there's not many countries that are physically anywhere near Harry Souttar. But in these games in particular, we saw against Bangladesh how difficult. You had 2 guys trying to climb up on top of him to stop him from heading the ball. So it's no wonder he gets as many goals as he does. And the other boys, again, when we get into those areas, into the wide players overlapping and cutting back, we've got poachers that can score goals.
So how does tonight play out, team? We saw how ruthless the Socceroos were against Bangladesh, but we saw that Bangladesh sat off and enabled the Socceroos to play. Tonight's going to be quite different, right?
It's going to be different. Look, we spoke about Palestine. They've got a free swing. They've got nothing to lose. They're going to be looking at the live lad, if you look at that, and going, if we can try and get something out of this game, we can possibly go through this group. But I expect Australia to go on with it as well.
Yeah, it may not be as comfortable as last time, given the circumstances, but I do think Palestine as well will probably sit in a little bit more than what we saw Bangladesh did the other night. So I think it will be tougher to create, some chances. But again, I think we've got enough quality to get a few goals tonight.
And I guess perhaps we can see changes at halftime. I know I'm already looking there. This is the final hit out ahead of the Asian Cup for the Socceroos as well, which kicks off for them in January. So it is Arnie's last opportunity to see some of his squad.
Yeah, we've seen the changes that he's made now going into this game. So everyone's had an opportunity to put himself forward, to put their best foot forward. And for sure, they'll be wanting to impress. They'll be a motivation as well.
They will indeed. Well, do not go anywhere. Grab your coffee, stay awake. We're off to a short break. And on the other side, it is kick-off to the Socceroos v Palestine. And your commentators, Simon Hill and Daniel McBreen.
Football never stops. It's 1-0 Australia.
Brandon Barello doing it for Australia.
And hits it. What a strike! But never, ever right off the Socceroos.
Well, a World Cup qualifier that was originally scheduled for Ramallah in the West Bank, but current circumstances make that impossible, of course. And so instead, Australia go in search of points in much more familiar surrounds, the Jabba Al Ahmad Stadium in Kuwait, where, of course, they played 4 times back in 2021 during the COVID restrictions and won the lot. For Palestine, it is the continuation of a football exile from their homeland that stretches back 4 years, but they will attempt to bring at least some joy to their people at a time of immense suffering. They are, on paper at least, a much better team than Bangladesh, having qualified now for 3 consecutive Asian Cups. And while the Socceroos should still be too good this evening, any complacency surely cannot be afforded tonight. 80,000 Palestinians live in Kuwait, and some of them are here tonight to cheer on their nation, even though it's 5 o'clock on a weekday in terms of the kickoff time. As for their players, they've prepared with a 3-week camp in Jordan, where over 3 million of their compatriots live. So perhaps it's a bit of a surprise that Kuwait was chosen as the venue, but a choice nevertheless that Australia will be grateful for, given that they have twice lost World Cup qualifiers in Oman. They're going to make quite a noise, the Palestinian fans. It won't be quite intimidating as it might have been in Jordan inside this 60,000 capacity venue, but the majority of the crowd will be in favour of the Lions of Canaan, who will look to build on the points they gained in the goalless draw against Lebanon in Sharjah. It's only the second ever meeting at senior level between the two teams. You might remember that they met in the group stage of the Asian Cup 4 years ago in 2019. Australia won that day by 3-0. And again, they start favourites here tonight. Let's pause then as the teams line up for the national anthems. Well, some of the Palestinian players, perhaps understandably, a little emotional as the two teams go through the pre-game ceremony. Palestinian players all wearing the traditional scarf of their homeland, the kufiya. Some of the officials too. And the Gulf has been not always a favourite visiting spot for Australia in the past. They've only actually lost 8 World Cup qualifiers since they moved to Asia in 2006, and 5 of those defeats have come in the Middle East. They should be too good tonight, but Palestinians, of course, will play heavily on emotion and well back from the stands. Here's the team news. Palestine make 2 changes from the 11 that started against Lebanon. Mohamed Yamin and Saleh Shihadeh drop down to the bench. Mohamed Rashid, who played against the Mariners for Bali United in the AFC Cup, starts in midfield. And there's a starting debut for winger Zaid Kunbar, who recently signed for Al Wadat in Jordan, but was back in Palestine within a few weeks. Oday Dabar is the team's star. He's already scored 3 times in Belgium after signing for Charleroi from Arouca in Portugal. Now 4 changes for the Socceroos. Ryan Strain replaces Lewis Miller at right back. Aziz Bayic is in for Jordi Boss on the left. Kai Rolls resumes his partnership with Harry Sutar in the centre of defence. And Martin Boyle returns after missing the trip to Melbourne at the expense of Brandon Borrello. It's a very experienced lineup, one which Graham Arnold hopes will get the job done this evening. There's our match referee tonight, who is Qasim Al-Hatmi, the 33-year-old from Oman. And the 2 skippers, Matt Ryan, of course, of the Socceroos, and Musab Al-Batat, his Palestinian counterpart. Mild temperatures for this game for this part of the world, 25 degrees, and pitch is pretty decent, even though Kuwait played India in their own World Cup qualifier here a few days ago, which produced a bit of a shock, with India winning that game by 1-0. Now the 2 players, or centre players I should say, lining up either side of the centre circle for a mark of respect, which I assume is due to the current circumstances in the region. Well, so many people have lost their lives in this current conflict. Football almost seems to be an irrelevance, but it's a sense of normality, of course, for Palestine, and a chance for them to wear their nation's jersey and represent their country with pride. And of course, it's a similar story for Australia as well, and they must put to one side all of that emotion and focus on getting the job done. You'll notice that they're wearing their change strip of predominantly all blue today. First time since the World Cup win against Tunisia. Happy memories. Almost a year ago to the day now. Doesn't time fly? And we're already on the road back to the next World Cup, which will be held, of course, in Mexico and Canada and the United States in 2026. So Palestine kick us off. The second step on the road towards the World Cup. It might be a little bit more difficult than the first, Daniel McBreen, but you'd expect that Socceroos are good enough to get the job done tonight.
Yeah, good evening, Simon, and everyone out there. There's been a lot of spoken about what's happening in the region, but it's about the next 90 minutes for both these teams now. And the Socceroos heavy favourites, but plenty of Palestine fans in the crowd to cheer on their team.
This is Ode Dabar, star striker from the team. Sayam takes over. This is Al-Bata, the captain. He does like to get forward down that right-hand side. They play ostensibly a 4-3-3, but both fullbacks are encouraged to get forward by coach Makram Daboub. Talking of which, there he is, the 50-year-old Tunisian coach of Palestine, former goalkeeping coach to the previous incumbent, Noureddin Ali, who took them to the Asian Cup in 2019. Here come Australia, looking to spring their first attack, and Martin Boyle is round the first challenge. Ryan Strain joining in, three in the middle. Mitch Duke was at the near post, but Palestine stand firm. Australia will come again through Ryan Strain. Well, they've got the ball caught up between his feet. Touched by Metcalf, and Australia are back on the front foot. Encouragement for Graham Arnold, who racks up 60 games over his two spells in charge of the national team tonight. The first Socceroos coach to do that. This is Bacchus, squared up for Aziz Bayic. He was looking to float it a fancy towards that far post, and it's spooned up in the air by a Palestinian defender, likewise by Bayic. Now brought down by Abuwada, and Palestine looking to spring forward, but big Harry Suter is there.
Well, I guess it's a really warning signs for Palestine. And the intent of the Australians, a quick break from one end to the other. And I'm sure that we'll see a dominant performance from the Socceroos.
Australia looking to play in Connor Metcalf down that right-hand side. He's done really well. Duke waiting in the middle, only partly away by Termanini. Reset through Boyle. And Palestine survived that raid, and there's a little bit of holding by Harry Suter on Ode Dabar.
Well, he did well there, didn't he, Ode Dabar? Good strength against Harry Suter. You see here, uses the body well, gets his body across. And that's not easy against such a big player.
Ode Dabar did make his name really with the club in Kuwait, Al Arabi, where he won both the championship and the Golden Boot in 2021. Very much a favourite with the Palestinian fans. After 2 years in Portugal, he's now in the top division in Belgium. It's going to be another free kick in favour of Palestine. Slightly clumsy challenge from behind on Atta Jaber. Mitch Duke doing the chasing back, but catching the man rather than the ball.
Well, he just got his foot in the way, didn't he? Dabar was about to strike.
So an early set-piece opportunity for the Lions of Canaan. Tama Sayam standing over the kick. A wall of two just guarding that near post for Matt Ryan, just in case. And the Palestine supporters sensing a big chance for their team here. Sayam trying to steer it in towards that near post area and had a bit of pace on it. Matt Ryan forced to palm it behind for a corner.
It was a relatively comfortable save in the end, but keeping Matt Ryan on his toes.
First save in anger made by the Australian custodian, and the corner's ready to go, but the referee isn't. Sayam has jogged away and left it for Mohamed Rashid to deliver for Palestine in the all-red strip. Rashid's out-swinging corner. And the shot wasn't a bad one, you know, from Mahmoud Abuwada. Short in stature, but did his very best to get over the top of that.
Well, it was a decent ball in, wasn't it? And a good attacking play. Martin Boyle putting his body on the line. And as the ball came back out, just rather lob it over the top of Matty Ryan. Sees it comfortably over the bar. But if the Socceroos thought this was going to be all one-way traffic, Palestine have shown them earlier that that may not be the case.
And they're looking to press Matt Ryan to prevent him from playing out from the back, but he managed to find an option. And Ryan Strain, who's playing with a bandaged left wrist. To those noisy supporters. They will cheer every time Palestine get over the halfway line. Don't you worry about that. Here come their team.
Well, if that's not enough for this team to be lifted, I don't know what is. Great support here. It's something that the Socceroos will have to weather. Always difficult playing away from home.
It's a good header one as well by Zayed Kumbar. Sutar calm under pressure. And Rolls slides it to Bajic. Palestine don't concede too many goals. The problem is that they don't score too many at the other end. Just 3 goals in the 4 column in their last 6 internationals, even though they've only conceded 7 in the same period. Which is why so much rests on the shoulders of that man, Ode Dabar. First Palestinian to play professionally in Europe. At least Palestinian born. This is Sutar looking for the run centrally of Craig Goodwin. Bacchus can't quite find his range, or Connor Metcalf. This is Abuwada. He is dispossessed. Metcalf won't quite get there. Ahead of Mohamed Salah, who wanted the throw but isn't going to get it. It's a pretty robust challenge from Salah, but a fair one.
Yeah, he wasn't leaving any opportunity to get past, was he? The Socceroos need to get on the ball and move it around a little bit, try and subdue the crowd.
Strange throw. Touch inside the penalty area by Duke, but nobody there for the Socceroos. Played forward by Sayam. And the Rolls, always the favourite, up against Dabar. It's not been the most comfortable start for Graham Arnold's team. See if they can settle things down here. Bajic. Behind him is Goodwin. Jackson Irvine. And Bacchus. Strain. Metcalf. Or rather Boyle, I should say. Looking for Metcalf, who has it now. He's going to have a go, Connor Metcalf. First save, forced out of Rami Hamada in the Palestine goal. Routine in the end.
Yeah, well, you said it, Simon. It's been a little bit scratchy for Australia. Not the most comfortable of opening 10 minutes. I'm sure Graham Arnold would be wanting them to settle into the game. A little bit more possession, move the Palestine team around. Look to work those openings.
Palestine are actually unbeaten in 21 home or neutral ground qualifiers. 17 wins and 4 draws. It's late on Bayic, and the referee's going to have a word with Sayam. Early in the game, Macca, but Palestine's approach does sort of remind me of Syria, another team from the region. They're not shy in doing the physical stuff when necessary. Well organised.
Yeah, and looking to press high as well, put the Socceroos under pressure. Could easily be excused for sitting back and trying to soak up the pressure and really frustrate the Socceroos in that final third, but pushing forward, trying to press higher up the pitch.
Ball by Albatat. Oh, Matt Ryan almost caught out by the bounce there. Could have been embarrassing. Metcalf working it out towards Strain. He's under pressure and he's dallied too long. And Abouada has stolen the ball. Fortunately for Australia, it's straight at Ryan, but Palestine offering their fans some early encouragement.
Yeah, it's a great start from Palestine. The Socceroos don't look comfortable at all on the ball, do they? They just need to settle down, really find their groove in this game and move the ball around. Pick the pass, look for those midfield passes, your Jackson Irvines and Connor Metcalfs.
Part of their game plan tonight was to try and turn what is seen as being a rather square and flat back four of the Palestinians and get the likes of Goodwin and Boyle in behind, which they have done here. Craig Goodwin and Albatat got back in time. It's going to be a goal kick actually for Palestine, but the first little glimpse of Graham Arnold's game plan coming to fruition.
Yeah, and a little calmer on that occasion. As his Baich in a higher position was able to roll Craig Goodwin in behind. Probably just balked, didn't he? An extra second there, which allowed Batat to get in with the touch, win the goal kick.
Magnificent venue in Kuwait City, 60,000 capacity. I imagine Makram Dabu will be delighted with his team start. This is Termanini off the head of Bayic and out for a throw.
Well, we were told before the match they were expecting around 15,000 Palestinian fans. Well, they're making the sound of a lot more, aren't they? Really urging their team on.
Hamadi to clear his lines. Good physical presence, a good outlet for Palestine to have with those long clearances, and then a foul on Davar. That's Palestine the free kick. Goodwin, the offender. Quarter of an hour played in Kuwait City. Tamer Sayam has tested Matt Ryan in the Australian goal once. Abu Wada firing just over. Conor Metcalf with Australia's only reply so far. Here's Boyle trying to get busy, but it was rather crowded. Break from a second time, and he's fouled. And will draw the free kick.
It's all been just a little bit scrappy, hasn't it, from the Socceroos? Pressure from Palestine, obviously a contributing factor.
Chance for Craig Goodwin to try and find one of those pinpoint deliveries. The likes of Suta and Duke, of course, obvious targets. Rolls is up there as well. Instead, they go along the floor. Change of angle for Craig Goodwin, perhaps. Here comes now, and out again by Mohamed Salah. Boyle. Corner for the Socceroos.
That's good defending from Palestine again. Dangerous balls in. First one cleared, second one blocked, and this is a danger area for them.
We saw Harry Suter is in the foreground of your picture there. The opening goal against Bangladesh from a corner delivered by Craig Goodwin. Let's see if history's about to repeat. Goodwin's delivery, it has been repeated. Extraordinary. Goodwin to Sutar, same result, 1-0 Australia. Harry Sutar has his 10th goal for his country in just his 22nd appearance. And it's that combination that's done the damage for Australia once again.
Well, it's so hard to defend against, isn't it? Look at big Harry Sutar, he just holds his ground, big and strong, and the delivery from Craig Goodwin is on a dime, hits it right on the forehead of Harry Sutar, who has the easiest of tasks to just nod it home. And it was mentioned before the game that was such an outlet for the Socceroos, and it's come to fruition again. Wonderful delivery from Craig Goodwin.
Well, he joins some illustrious company with that 10th international goal. Paul Wade and Kevin Muscat, no less, on the all-time list. And the fact that it's come in so few internationals speaks volumes as to the threat that he poses from those set-piece situations.
Well, he's just so hard to defend against, isn't he? And we saw on that occasion, he just held his ground. He didn't need to run, doesn't need to create the space to move into. He just uses his frame and his strength. And when you've got a player like Craig Goodwin to deliver, it makes it very difficult for the opposition.
Palestine looking to strike back. Corner whipped in low towards the near post. It's tidy work by Musab Al-Batat to head off Martin Boyle, and a test for Matty Ryan, one that he always looked likely to pass. And a quick release to try and get Craig Goodwin moving forward. You can tell that he's frustrated with his inability to stick hold of the ball. And instead it's Saldana. Straining if you like, to get that goal side of Sayam. This is Mohamed Rashid out for Al-Batat. Already got hold of the cross, and up and away by Irvine. Tierney battling with Duke. No foul, even though Palestine wanted one. Oh, now there's a problem with Ryan Strain for Australia, but play will continue. Kai Rolls saw the ball out. But Ryan Strain looks to be in quite a lot of discomfort here. And attention is immediately called for.
Yeah, this didn't look good. He went down before the challenge even came in. I'm not too sure.
He's twisted the knee as he fell. And there are some rather worried Australian faces around Ryan Strain. Let's have another look at it.
Is it the groin? Looks
Yeah,
like he,
could be.
Yeah, grabbed maybe the left groin there. Just maybe the foot just not grabbing in the ground as he would have liked. And he went down straight away.
A player forced to the turf with no obvious contact. You do worry whether it's a serious soft tissue injury. He looked to be writhing around in pain, Ryan Strain, making just his second start for his country this evening. Australia will continue with 10 men for the time being. Lewis Miller, of course, on the bench as the obvious replacement, should he be required.
Well, I think we heard Graham Arnold straight away yell out, "Lewis, off you go, get warmed up."
Australia in no particular hurry with the throw. Boyle left it a fraction short from Metcalf with the return. Backers biting into the back of his opponent. There's the view from the blimp or the drone. Looking out over Kuwait City. Ryan Strain is back up on his feet. But Lewis Miller is already on. So Graham Arnold forced into that early change at right back, taking no chances with the injury to Ryan Strain, which is a pity for the St Mirren fullback. He's had a good start to the season again in the Scottish Premier League and earned his starting spot tonight, but it's only lasted a fraction over 20 minutes.
Well, let's just hope that's nothing too untoward. Maybe just a slight strain.
Of that change. Lewis Miller on for his fourth cap. Playing in behind his club teammate, Martin Boyle, down that right-hand side. So at the very least, there shouldn't be any problems with their understanding.
Not at all. And he loves to get forward as well, doesn't he, Lewis Miller?
Kai Rolls. Irvine. Cross to Harry Suter, whose goal divides the two teams. Fraction too heavy for Miller.
I think Harry Suter thought Lewis Miller was going to take off and go forward there. Just played it in front of him. Lewis Miller had just stopped his run.
Longer out of play by Saldana for Palestine, who is one of those from the Palestinian diaspora, plays for Union San Felipe in Chile, which is the country of his birth, but many Palestinians living in that part of the world. We've got a club in the domestic competition called Palestino. Referee got an inadvertent touch there, but play will go on. As Palestine retain possession. Saldana. Comfortable for Suter. Chested down by Bacchus, but miscontrolled by Miller. All the way through to Rami Hamadi. Australian defence have pushed up to squeeze the pitch. Suter. Seeking, but not finding his teammate. Instead, Palestine will cross, but never looked likely to get there. Goodwin, and look at Aziz Behic bombing forward. It's almost a very good take by Conor Metcalfe, almost, but not quite. Behic now out of position. No foul by Suter. Bacchus to try and thread it through. Not sure Mitch Duke was entirely anticipating that. And they'll float the ball into the box. Al-Batat chests it back to his goalkeeper.
Well, the Socceroos have really struggled to get anyone in midfield, haven't they, on the ball facing forward. As we have another look at the goal there, look at the strength. Makes it so difficult. Harry Suter, look, just holds his ground, gets the arm out and creates the space, and as we said before, the delivery from Craig Goodwin, absolutely sublime.
I'll tell you what, his marker, Mohamed Salah, is not small by any means, but having stood next to Harry Suter myself, and I'm 6'3",
you've grown a couple of inches, have you?
Let me tell you, he looked like Snow White, stood next to one of the dwarfs next to me.
Yeah, he's a big man, isn't he? It's in these positions here that Australia have really struggled to move that ball through that midfield area. Lots of pressure from the Palestinian midfielders. They've been forced to really go round or try to go long.
Goodwin. Loaded away by Mohamed Salah. Irvine has a look. Bacchus didn't need to. Room here for Keanu Bacchus. Australia trying to pick their way through the defensive lines. It's a poor ball though by Keanu Bacchus. Miller clattered into by Zaid Kunba. Irvine. Suter. Irvine. Space is there, as you're pointing out to me, Daniel McBreen, for the Australians to exploit, but just a little bit slow in doing so.
Well, we're seeing Craig Goodwin and Martin Boyle come inside, and the two fullbacks push on high. And that brings Jackson Irvine and Keanu Bacchus a little deeper as well.
This is Miller. Bacchus. Irvine for rolls. Now they do find that little pocket of space. Goodwin, tempting ball in. And the shot from Metcalfe was on target. And comfortable enough for Rami Hamadi. But they worked that quite well.
Yeah, that was good movement from the Socceroos. That's where you want to get Craig Goodwin into those areas. We know his delivery is fantastic. It wasn't a bad ball either.
There's Goodwin again. Just overran it. Nipping him was Ato Jaber. Bar a little bit isolated, but he gets the throw off Suta. Saldana. Salah going cross-field, looking for his captain. Will be a Palestine throw. The problem for coach Makram Daboub is where are those goals going to come from? Just one they've scored in the last 5 matches overall. It's in a 2-1 defeat in Oman, scored by Mahmoud Abouwada. Goalless draws in that sequence. It's the most difficult part of the game. A little strength, not enough. And a little ripple of excitement amongst the Palestinian fans, which quickly dies down as Saldana gives a bad ball. And that's a foul by Sayab.
Well, that's turning into a good battle on that right-hand side, isn't it? Lewis Miller, he doesn't mind a battle, doesn't mind using the body.
Sayam. A little bit too eager. He's one of the overseas-based contingent, of which there are 10 in the Palestine squad. He plays his club football in Thailand for Prachuap, who are bottom of the Thai top league. Here he is again. Sayam. Ode Dabar. Albata. Oh, was a tempting ball in, and Suta was underneath it. Goodwin can't stick hold of it. Ode Dabar again. Lifting it into the box. Bounces off the face, I think, of Harry Suta. There are appeals for handball by the Socceroos, and those appeals are heeded.
Well, he scored a goal at the other end, but Harry Suta was big and strong there again. First ball came in, and this was the shout for handballs. You can see in the clearance there, Kumbar couldn't quite get it there past Harry Suta, and then couldn't really do too much about it, but the referee says, yep, we'll pay the free kick.
Ball ricochets onto his hand so quickly, doesn't it? I do wonder if that had been an Australian defender, would a penalty have been awarded? Even though the arm was away from the body. Anyway.
It's just turning into a bit of a battle this at the moment, isn't it?
Not sure Graham Arnold and his team would have expected this. That's what the move to Asia was made to do, to provide these sorts of challenges. Hostile environments. Long journeys. Australia, in the course of the journey, have dealt with it pretty well, really. Boyle. There wasn't much intent to go for the ball from Mohamed Rashid. And the friendship's a little bit too late, Mohamed.
I think actually as they fell, he may have come down on ball. You see, it's a definite foul there, but I think just the foot might catch here on the head. Oh. We may never know.
Mohamed Rashid at close quarters, of course, Mackie. You were in Bali, watching the Mariners against Bali United. May AFC Cup. See how this develops. Lewis Miller penalised.
Yeah, that was another tough occasion for Australian football.
What are you going to say for you?
It's a tough trip.
Rather scratchy opening 10 minutes or so. Australia have certainly settled into the game. Lynch with that throw into space for Sutar. And now Lewis Miller. Rolls. Irvine. Australia just waiting to try and pick their moment. So no risk football just for the time being. Bacchus with Rashid at his back. Now they look to hits down the flanks, and they're in behind through Martin Boyle. Might have got himself, I thought, Martin Boyle. Instead looked to square it to a teammate.
Yeah, it was a great ball from Keanu Bacchus for the run of Boyle. I'm with you, Simon. I think that was a good opportunity as he takes his first touch inside to maybe just have a strike across the goal there. The challenge, and Hamida cleaning up.
Touch by Boyle. Almost broke kindly for Metcalf, not quite. This is Saldana. Rashid. Al-Bata. Scoop back to his teammate from Rami Hamadi. Very highly rated goalkeeper in golf circles. So the record for clean sheets for Palestine all time, but won't add to his tally tonight, of course. Saldana. Jaba. Dabar just dropping off the front line to try and get involved in the game. Saldana. Found a little bit of space, Palestine. Space they could exploit. Ryan to clear upfield. Rashid, the little lifted ball over the top. This is Thomas Seya. He was ever so slightly off balance when he went to deliver that cross. And that, sadly for Palestine, was fatal.
I'd like to see the Socceroos be a little bit more expansive in their press. Move forward as a unit and press the Palestinians a little higher rather than sitting in that mid to low block at times. Try and put the pressure on early and win that ball higher up the pitch.
Sutar. Bacchus. Irvine. Goodwin with a bit of time here to get the head up. Sayam got back goal side to make the block. Irvine. That's the right idea. Al-Bata was too smart.
Yeah, it's great defending. Read the situation well. Dummy to run through.
A little quieter now. Harry Sutar's opening goal, which came on 18 minutes. Still very much in the contest. Touch off Irvine. This is Musab Al-Bata. Good foraging from Bacchus. And again, Irvine. Aziz Bayic, who is the most experienced outfield player in the Socceroos squad. Matt Leckie has more caps, rather Matt Ryan, I should say. Matt Leckie, of course, not part of this squad. Number 86 for the Australian goalkeeper tonight, puts him behind the legendary Alex Tobin on the all-time list. Goodwin, the break for Duke. Heading off the outside of the boot and straight into the arms of Hamady. It's a better press from Australia to win the ball back high up the pitch. Heeding your words, Daniel McBreen. A little pirouette too from Boyle. Miller with the long throw. Duke got a touch. This is Metcalf. Two in the box for Conor Metcalf, and it's deflected behind off Mohamed Salah for another Australian corner. Let's see if Goodwin and Sutar can repeat their magic.
Well, he'll definitely be the target, won't he? Harry Sutar probably go and stand himself right inside that 6-yard box. And ask that man, Craig Goodwin, to just put it on his head. And let me do the rest.
Well, they can stick as tight as they want to Harry Sutar, and they've got about 3 players around him, which of course could free up space for others. Harry Sutar won't mind who scores the goals, as long as they come. Salah has been charged with the responsibility, thankless task though it is, keeping tabs on Australia's giant number 19. Marcus involved in a little bit of push and shove with Ode Dabar. There's a fair bit going on in there. Now we're finally ready. Sutar jockeying for position. Goodwin delivers, and it's away at the near post from Attar Jaba for Palestine. Know where the threat is.
We saw that last match out, didn't we, against Bangladesh? 2 players trying to mark Harry Sutar. Same happening again. As you say, Simon, that can free up space for another Socceroo.
No foul by Al-Bata. It's a good challenge from Rolls. Needed to be made as well. Hammers it in the direction of Duke and Boyle as we tick over into first half stoppage time, of which there's going to be a couple of minutes. Time for Palestine to make inroads here. It's Al-Bata, and it's behind off Aziz Bayic, and Palestine will have a corner in first half stoppage time.
Well, he's having a good game, isn't he, Al-Bata, the captain? He's getting forward, balls into the box. He's defended well at the other end. He's from his team a corner here.
Which Mohamed Rashid will take short. Al-Batat looking to pick out a teammate. Big chance here. Matt Ryan with a miraculous save to deny Tamer Sayab. It fell so invitingly to Palestine's number 9. But Matt Ryan made himself big and strong and made a crucial stop.
That he did indeed. Looked for all money it was going to be a Palestinian goal there.
Rashid's corner, deeper this time. Java can't reach it. Back by Saldana, out again by Metcalf. And Palestine finishing the first half strongly. Here's that man, Sayam. Threaded ball through. I'll tell you what, if that first touch goes towards goal rather than away off Ode Dabar, Australia are in big trouble.
Yeah, that's a couple of huge warnings, signs for the Socceroos. As long as this remains at 1-0, Palestinians will see that they've got some hope.
Well, that is the half-time scoreline. Harry Sutar with a crucial goal, just as he did against Bangladesh, opening the scoring from Craig Goodwin's delivery. But Australia are mighty grateful to Matt Ryan for a big save in first half stoppage time to deny Tamer Sayam. Nobody picked him up. Australia, their defenders pushed out. That's why Matt Ryan is so highly rated. That is a miraculous save to protect Australia's lead, which they hold at the interval by the slenderest of margins, thanks to Harry Sutar and their captain. Half-time in Kuwait City, Palestine 0, Australia 1. We're off to a quick break. On the other side, join Tara Rushton, Luke Wiltshire and Alex Brosk for their thoughts on the first half.
The Socceroos continue their road to the World Cup in 2026 over in Kuwait at Jabal Al Ahmed International Stadium against Palestine. 5 p.m. kickoff their time, early hours of this morning here in Oz. And well, it's not exactly what they dished up v Bangladesh. Slightly flatter, slightly duller, you've got to say, Luke Wiltshire and Alex Brosk. It wasn't quite what we were expected. 1-0 is a score at half-time, so the Socceroos are in the lead, which is a positive, but they've been given a couple of almighty scares.
They have, and look, it's a good reminder as well. I think we tend to forget sometimes heading into these campaigns of just how difficult it is, these games away in Asia. So I think, look, it's probably no real surprise that the pitch doesn't look great. It's very bobbly. The ball isn't moving as freely as we'd probably want. But even still, look, I think it was our go-to that got us the goal in the end. Craig Goodwin delivered to Sutar, got us underway. But even still, it's been pretty flat.
It is exactly the same way that the Socceroos opened their scoring against Bangladesh on Thursday night at Amy Park. We spoke about him, Harry Sutar, and the aerial threat, the threat in the box that he is, and that delivery from Craig Goodwin.
He is, it's just on point. Look, you see Harry there, he's been man-marked. He's trying to grapple with the guy, but he's the presence that he is. The ball's on the money. He doesn't have to do a lot to it. He just guides it in and does what he does. And again, it's the go-to. Because up until then, we hadn't created pretty much anything, and it was probably Palestine who started the better. But that's the difference at the moment, is those set pieces.
How do you even mark Harry Sutar, his 10th goal in his 22nd international appearance? Harry Sutar has been immense. He's looked the most likely. He's very hard to miss in the box when you look at who's having such a big impact on the first half. And this, of course, is the opportunity to see this side before the Asian Cup campaign takes place. So looking at the Subway subs, who's going to come on and make an impact? Who's going to change things, turn the screws in the second half, team?
We need a little bit more life about us, that's for sure. Lacklustre, I think, is the best way to put it. Look, maybe you can get someone like Boss coming in at left back, giving us a bit more impetus going forward on the left side, and someone like Barella, who you know is going to give you energy up top.
Those two perfect. I think maybe Sammy Silvera as well, who can come on and provide something different, that sort of direct, you know, carefree sort of style that he has. Yangi as well, another presence up front to support Duke. So either of those four could come on and change the game, really.
Maybe something just to energise what's happening over there in Kuwait. All right, don't forget, this is a football that is heading your way. This being tonight, the last hit out before the Socceroos kick off the Asian Cup against India, Saturday the 13th of July. You can catch all of the Asian Cup live and exclusive across Network 10 and Paramount Plus. The Matildas are also back in action against Canada. Of course, they met at the most recent World Cup. That will take place next month in December, being the Matildas v Canada. So we cannot wait for that one as well. And yeah, you've got to catch it right here on Network 10 in December. Don't miss it.
Cuts it in, Adriana Leon. What a hit! What a great goal! Canada take the lead with a rocket into the top corner. Back to Kerr, who cuts it for Fowler. Less than 2.5 minutes on the clock, and Sam Kerr sets up Mary Fowler to give the Matildas the dream start.
Well, Socceroos are in the lead, 1-0. Well, just by the fingertips of Matt Ryan in the purple there. He needs a little introduction. And Tamer Sayam, the number 9 from Palestine, well, he fired that warning shot. He fired one very early in the game as well. And you can see that they are incredibly dangerous. And man of the match, man of the first half so far has got to be Matt Ryan. A big moment of concern, Ryan's strain. So he started this one at right back, and within 20 minutes, it looked semi-innocuous, team, but it has been confirmed from over in Kuwait that he has strained his groin. Hopefully it's not too serious.
It doesn't look good. Look, it's very innocuous. Obviously, no challenge there. He's gone down in a lot of pain. And you see here, it's come from nothing. But yeah, it's not a good look. And he didn't play the first game, so he hadn't played minutes. For that to happen is a big blow for him.
He's traversed the globe and he's lasted 20 minutes on the pitch. Harry Suter, the big bopper in the middle, aerial duels, 6 out of 6, 100%. Alex Frost, no surprise.
No surprise with any of it. Even the amount of touches he's getting. Obviously, we're moving the ball around the back a lot, not really getting much penetration into midfield and creating chances out of it. So in games like this, he's going to get a lot of touches. Thankfully, one of them was the goal that we needed. But yeah, if not for Matt Ryan, and I guess a highlight of how important he is. He may not touch the ball all that much, but as long as this game stays 1-0 and they're in with a chance, they'll keep fighting, and we're going to need him again, possibly.
It was so vital in the stoppage time moments. What do you make of the Kai Rolls, Harry Suter partnership at the back?
Look, it's been a great partnership. We saw in the World Cup. Obviously, Burgess has now come into the frame.
I know.
Which Arnie talks about having that competition for places. Having 2 natural left-sided centre-backs is a fantastic option to have. Harry Suter, is his own. But he touched on it, Matt Ryan just shows that, you've got to stay switched on and focused the whole 90-plus minutes.
Absolutely tough place to go and play. All right, don't go anywhere. Kick-off is next.
Well, those Palestinian fans still full of hope and perhaps even expectation on the back of a rather rousing finish to the opening 45 minutes. But their team does trail at the interval thanks to Harry Suter's goal. He's now scored in 3 consecutive internationals for the Socceroos, but not the most fluid performance in the opening half. Graham Arnold will no doubt be reminding them of the game plan at half-time. If they do manage to win tonight, Australia then will be top by some 4 points, because in the other game, Bangladesh managed to jag a draw against Lebanon in their game in Dhaka. And of course, not just about the World Cup qualifiers, but Australia got a big tournament on the horizon as well. Daniel McBreen, just 52 days before the Asian Cup starts against India. And we'll want to go into that tournament on the back of 2 wins in these opening World Cup qualifiers. They are well placed to do that, but I'd like to see a little bit more from them in this second half.
Yeah, you're right, Simon. They have done well in the last match. They are leading 1-0 at half-time here, but I'm sure Graham Arnold would have said, come on, we need a little bit more here. We want a good performance before we head into that tournament. Let's sign off with a good performance here, a great second half. As you say, I'd like to see them a little bit more adventurous on the press, and also to get that ball into the midfield triumphant and get them facing forward and move that Palestinian defence around.
That's for Palestine, who are re-entering the field of play now. Defending that long unbeaten run in Asian qualifiers, 21 matches home or on neutral territory. They haven't actually played a home game since 2019, and they've got some great backing in the stands tonight. And they thought they had a goal, didn't they, in first half stoppage time, but for the heroics of Matty Ryan, which kept Australia's lead intact. Doesn't look like there's been any changes made by either coach at the break, so we await Qasim Al-Hatni's whistle, which duly arrives. Australia get us back underway, leading as they do by 1-0, thanks to Harry Sutar's 10th at international level. And a little bit more control of the game perhaps required. They didn't start particularly well, Australia. First 10 minutes were a wee bit scratchy. Palestine are no mugs. As mentioned, they've qualified now for 3 consecutive Asian Cup tournaments, even if they are yet to win a game. Regional tournament finals, they are a handy outfit. This next 45 will require the utmost concentration from the Socceroos.
Well, they've defended well, haven't they, against the Socceroos? She can break forward here, but we've seen that both the Socceroos fullbacks push high. Martin Boyle, very good one, coming inside a little bit, trying to get them high and wide to get balls in behind, but they haven't really got into too many opportunities in those areas. Very good one, 1 or 2 opportunities to get balls in, but on the whole has been defended quite well.
Rashid couldn't reach the ball, and Goodwin was trying to steer it into the path of Mitch Duke. There's not too much change out of Mohamed Salah and Michel Termanini, the centre-back pairing for Palestine. Stopping Harry Sutar, of course, is a completely different problem from set pieces. Here he is, loving playing for his country. Doesn't get too many opportunities, unfortunately, for his club. He's played just the 1 game in the Championship for Leicester City. Says he wants to stay in January and fight for his spots. Not that he'll be doing that in January, of course. He'll be at the Asian Cup.
Well, sometimes it can be the easy option, isn't it, to go and find games elsewhere, but states he wants to try and break back into the team doing very well.
It's a foul on Lewis Miller. As he also pointed out, Leicester are top of the Championship in England, so he can hardly complain that the manager's making the wrong decisions.
Well, that's it. When the team's doing well, they're winning games, it's very hard to change the lineup, particularly your back 4 you like to keep as stable as possible.
As Kai Rolls, his central defensive partner. Duo back in tandem today. A couple of opportunities for Sandro Giacatti and Cameron Burgess. Good ball by Sutar, touched back by Boyle. Jackson Irvine quite find his range. first to the loose ball. And Australia will claim the throw.
Well, we've seen a couple of balls like that, haven't we, from the Socceroos that we saw there from Jackson Irvine, just miscuing it. Just wonder if the pitch maybe is a little bit uneven, and just as they go to strike the ball, they're getting under it. Can make life a little difficult if that is the case.
All part of the challenge of playing in Asia. Ryan sprays the ball out towards Lewis Miller. Gets the ball stuck between his feet, but somehow he's managed to come away with it and retain his balance, or at least initially anyway. They had a couple of chops at him there, didn't they, Palestine, before Rashid eventually succeeded in bringing him to ground.
Well, he's been in a running battle with 2 or 3 Palestinians since he's come on the field, and you see him just saying to the referee how many times. It's been a good contest.
Goodwin gets the throw. Doing really well for his new outfit in Saudi Arabia. 5 goals in 8 games for Al-Wada. Enjoying playing in a league that, of course, is now full of global superstars. So Cristiano Ronaldo, N'Golo Kante, Riyad Mahrez. Backus, the offender there, obstructing his opponent.
You see here, just to the left of your screen, just a little push, not much in it really. There's no real need.
He's getting a bit of disciplinary trouble for his club side, St Mirren. 6 yellow cards in 11 matches in the SPL in Scotland so far this season. Keanu Backus. Saldana got away from him there. Unfortunate ricochet of Conor Metcalf. This is Ode Dabar. Saldana. Dabar again. All very scrappy by the near touchline. Dabar comes away with it. Attar Jaba gives the ball away, and Australia will look to spring forwards. Goodwin's only option was Mitch Duke. Irvine, Goodwin. Back for Irvine. Good sliding challenge though. Attar Jaba. It's good defensive midfield play by Keanu Backus. Alert to that danger and getting quickly back goal side of Saeed Kunbar. This game is far from safe for Australia. This is Al Batat. Terminini for Mohamed Salah. It's a good take by Batat. He went for the early cross. Taking it on a few more metres.
Well, he saw that he had 3 teammates inside the box and wanted to get it in quickly. He was well defended on that occasion.
Salah. Sayem, who had Palestine's best opportunities in the first half. Had a play off Mitch Duke. It's tough going for the Socceroos. Clip into the box for Mohamed Rashid. And it's going to be a corner for Palestine.
It's a good start to the second half in Palestine, isn't it? Pressure being turned on the Socceroos. Afraid to get players forward as well to support.
Mohamed Rashid again with the corner. Angle back for Al-Batat. Sayem. Abuwada. Suta couldn't reach it. Oh, it was a speculative effort from Atar Jaba. Way over the top of the crossbar.
Why not from that area, though? Out into a dangerous area, got himself set, and just got under the ball.
Plays his club football in Azerbaijan for Neftchi Baku. He's actually a former captain of the Israel under-21 team. He changed his national allegiance, which, as you can understand, didn't particularly go down too well. It took him 2 years to get his travel visa. Playing overseas, where he's coached by a certain Adrian Mutu. His temper's frayed just a little.
Well, it's been brewing a little bit down this near side, hasn't it? Lewis Miller loves a physical battle. Just getting a little out of hand on that occasion.
Lost to boots in the process here. There's all sorts going on. Pushing and shoving and jersey tugging. Bacchus. Rolls for Suta. Didn't quite reach Aziz Bajic on that left-hand side. Termanini almost running out of real estate on that far side of the pitch, and an infringement on Jackson Irvine, who's eager to get on with things, trying to inject some urgency into the Socceroos, and Martin Boyle trying to steal in behind. Away by Salah for now. Duke looking to recycle it. A little stumble by Goodwin. Rather scrappy nature of the game at the outset of the second half continuing.
Well, it has been really hard for the Socceroos to put any real combinations together, hasn't it? Particularly in that front third. Such is the nature of the defensive effort from Palestine, and some of the conditions as well.
This is Lewis Miller, who's broken free of those shackles just for the moment. And credit really to Palestine's organisation. They weren't able to play in the October window due to the ongoing troubles back in their homeland, but that 3-week camp in Jordan has obviously helped with their cohesion.
Yeah, definitely very organised in defence. I think maybe a little bit more proactive in their press as well, which may have taken the Socceroos a little bit by surprise, who may have thought they would sit a little deeper. It'd be more a case of breaking down a team in that final third.
Nowhere to go for Craig Goodwin, and instead it's Palestine who spring forward. Sayam, Ode Dabar, Mohamed Rashid is furthest forwards. Can they fashion an opening here? Atar Jaba off balance and ultimately off target.
That was a nice break, wasn't it? It was Mohamed Rashid who made a great run into the box. You see the initial pass here, and look at him going through the middle there. Just wants it rolled across. Harry Sutar's big frame, probably just enough to stop the cross coming in. And when the shot finally did come in, it's not what was wanted. It's a little bit off balance and off target.
legs required from Matt Ryan on that occasion. Very good win, getting a fraction too tight on Musab Al-Bata, the Palestinian captain.
He's just a little late there, isn't he? Just catches the toe. But he's had a good game tonight. Impressed by him.
He's one of the domestic-based players, plays for Shabab Al-Daria. So only returned to Palestine this year. Has been playing in Egypt with eloquently named Ceramica Cleopatra. Club in Egypt. Miller got plenty of distance behind that throw to pick out Duke. Miller losing out to Jarber. Good cover provided by Jackson Irvine. It's an hour played. Australia know they're in a game here. Not had things all their own way. Backers to ping it out towards Lewis Miller on the right. Metcalf. It's the state of play with just under half an hour to go now. Miller's lost out. Was there an infringement there by Suta? The answer is no. Zion Kumbar going to ground a little bit too easily. Almost able to steal. It's well played by Craig Goodwin. Double change for the Socceroos. Brandon Borrello and Geordie Boss to be introduced by Graham Arnold. Craig Goodwin, the two who make way. It's Miller. Here's club boss Nick Montgomery, who of course we know well. Delighted to see Martin Boyle get the early mark, given he's still feeling the after effects of that injury sustained while playing for Hibs against Kilmarnock.
Yeah, always a worry for club managers as this plays out.
Here's Connor Metcalf, big chance this for Australia, but he delayed too long. And ultimately the whistle goes in favour of Palestine. You were just waiting for him to pull the trigger there, Connor Metcalf.
Yeah, well, it opened up. It hasn't done so for him so far in the match. As the ball was played inside from Miller, you can see here plenty of space, gets the head up. Just thought, just strike it with the left foot. Looked like he wanted to come back on the right, and then the moment was lost.
Just wanted that extra touch, didn't he, Connor Metcalf? Of those changes made by Australia. Boss on for his 6th appearance for his country. Strangely enough, he'll be in action for his club side in Belgium, Westerlo, against Charleroi next. It's Ode Dabar's club. Sent forward by Suter. Nice touch. Two nice touches, in fact. They've worked this beautifully, Australia. It's a good save to deny Brandon Borrello by Rami Hamadi. And that was some of Australia's best work in an attacking sense all night.
Yeah, beautiful interplay there. He's looked sharp since coming on straight away. Great combination. Look at the run, gets the eyes up, looks to find that bottom corner. Hamada with a good save down to his right. But just a little spark there from the Socceroos.
Craig Goodwin to deliver a corner kick, of course, now. So Conor Metcalf has taken over those duties. Sutar waits to make his move. He's got Mitch Duke there as his bodyguard as well. Kumbar and Salah, as ever, out to greet them. Sort of a delivery can Conor Metcalf produce here. Sutar's got away. Free header for Jordan Boss, and it crashes back off the crossbar. Still alive for Australia before it's eventually hooked away by Atar Jaba. And Lewis Miller will prevent any counter from Ode Dabar. But Jordy Boss, oh so close. Not only to getting his first international goal, but maybe sealing the deal for the Socceroos.
Well, both substitutes having an impact. Brandon Borrello was involved in winning the corner. Jordy Boss found himself pretty much unmarked on the 6-yard box and smashed it against the crossbar.
As it is, the game remains in the balance. The changes have had the desired effect for Graham Arnold's team. Irvine. Borrello lost his balance, but gains the free kick.
And here's another look you see. Jordy Boss, he just ghosted in, didn't he, towards that 6-yard area. Everyone's thinking about Harry Sutar at the near post, and he'll be a little disappointed he didn't hit the target there. Free header 6 yards out.
Did the keeper maybe get a fingertip to it? Difficult to know for sure. So much power behind it, but again, that's the presence of Harry Sutar, isn't it?
Well, we saw there on that replay from behind the goal, as Harry Sutar made his run to the near post, there was about 4 or 5 red shirts circling him. No one was paying attention to that middle area, just ghosting in at the back, Jordy Boss.
Akram Daboub knows his team might well have been out of this contest. Perhaps that's why he's going to look to his bench. Ode Karoub is perhaps one of those to be summoned shortly. Midfielder, and perhaps that's where Australia just gained a bit more control in this second half. Or am I being too generous, Macca?
I would say fractionally. I think the introduction of Borrello and Jordy Boss may have sparked a little bit more movement in that front area. There hasn't been too much joy in the midfield today for Australia.
Wada's ball was behind his captain, Al-Batat. Past the midway point of the second half. Rolls arriving a fraction late on Ode Dabar. There was some contact. He's certainly making the most of it, Ode Dabar. Let's have another look.
I think that would have hurt, actually. Kai Rolls just sort of snuck into the side of Kai Rolls, but here's another look. You can see there all the red shirts going towards the near post for Harry Sutar, and Jordy Boss really should have hit the target there.
Nobody picked up his run. Debar just pointing out the graze on the leg. There's no doubt he was caught by Kai Rolls. It is Kai Rolls, not Key. He's picked up the game's first caution. Defensive line for Australia. Now they'll drop. And it pops for Abouada. Al-Batat still plenty forward for Palestine. Sutar imperious in the air again. Down by Rashid. And Australia a little slow to push out. Lighting the pressure perhaps. Big chance here for Palestine. Flag was up against Tamer Sayam. And Australia are grateful for that.
Well, they are. And you said it, Simon, they were very slow to get out, to get pressure on the ball. And when the ball did come back in, they were second to it. Look at the red shirts there. Good winner, the header there. And most of that just tries to play it around the corner. And just drifted into an offside position. We're in the coming into the last 20 minutes of the match now, and it's that time where Australia really needs to start thinking about killing off the game.
Brandon Borello's had one good chance. Jordy Boss has hit the crossbar. Still the margin remains at 1. Lewis Miller is asking how he could be penalised there, but that is the verdict. Next international will be back in this part of the world, a friendly against Bahrain on the 6th of January before their Asian Cup quest starts in Doha against India. Subsequent group games to come against Syria and Uzbekistan. They want 6 points from 6 to start off their World Cup campaign. And although it's not all been sweetness and light for the Socceroos so far this evening, they do still lead. Sutar couldn't get there in time. Big chance this for Palestine. Abouada, O'Day Debar, and he fires it wide. It is going to be a corner, but Australia was stretched there. They sold Harry Sutar a bit short, and he couldn't quite get there ahead of Abouada. And Palestine almost making Australia pay for some sloppy defending.
Well, it was a sloppy pass out that initiated it. And then, as you say, Simon, some sloppy defending as well. And the longer this game goes at 1-0, the more and more Palestine seem to be gaining confidence.
O'Day Karoub has been sent on by Palestine. We'll confirm who's come off for him in a moment. Meantime, Sayam's corner met by Mitch Duke at the near post. The throw-in was quick and accurate, but the cross, unfortunately for Australia, wasn't. And he's been handy tonight, hasn't he, Tamer Sayam?
Yeah, he has. He's got himself into a couple of positions that have worried the Australians, particularly that one just before half-time that Matty Ryan made a great save.
Rashid is the player who's had his number called. It's a like-for-like change. One midfielder for another. 30-year-old from one of the biggest clubs in Palestine, Hilal Al-Quds. There he years, on for his 23rd cap. Has a brother who's also a professional, Laith, who plays as a winger for Marcos Balata, also in the West Bank Premier League. Zaid Kunbar. Another corner. Pressure building just a little bit.
He's toiled well as well, isn't he, up front? Kumbar tonight for the Palestinians.
Palestine throw. Saldana to take. Movement and got it ultimately from Ode Dabar. In comes the cross. Nice drop for Atta Jaber. Now starting to ask the question, the Lions of Canaan. Al-Fadai, as they're known in Arabic. Has been a good examination of Australia's credentials in this group.
You can see there, both just in an offside position. Jabba, the culprit. It's a good period of play for the Palestinians, asking the questions of the Australian defence.
That ball needed to stick for Brandon Borrello. Instead, he's given away a foul. Quarter of an hour to go in Kuwait City. Sutar's goal still the difference. Australia have come close to adding to their lead. Haven't been able to do so. Bayic to clear his lines. Getting involved. Now Termanini, Salah. Heading forwards, looking for Ode Dabai. Borrello stretching, but again not quite able to reach it. Australia just can't get their foot on the ball at the moment. Has been issued to REUPLOAD, I think.
I think it's for just some fouls he was saying. Was that a foul there by Connor Metcalf?
Lost to Metcalf. Confirmed, meantime. Bayic. Saldana, there you go. Driving run forward by Metcalf. Gap wasn't quite there to slip it through for Duke. Miller. It's good, tenacious scrapping. Zaid Kunbar. Graham Arnold frustrated with Lewis Miller for losing the ball. Karoub sends it forwards. Ryan has to come and gather and does. Boss cutting it back for his fellow substitute Brandon Borrello. Had 3 red jerseys around him and somehow still came away with the ball. Backus has a lash at it from long range, and the upshot is a throw. Australia. crowd of 14,537. Unveiling the biggest flags you're likely to see throughout this qualifying campaign. My Arabic is not great, so I can't tell you what it says. Maybe Daniel McBreen can.
I'm afraid I can't. Sorry, Simon.
Good game again tonight, hasn't he? Harry Sutar, not just his goal.
Yeah, he's been very dominant in defence. Controlled the area.
Still time for Palestine. Flag here. Australia almost stopped for a moment, and I guess you call that a snapshot from Tamar Sayam. Way off target.
Harry Sutar wasn't happy there. He felt that the player had come back from an offside position, and I tend to agree with him as well.
Got a play to the whistle though. As Palestine have shown that they are dangerous. Said all that, Australia are, as of now, 10 minutes away from very important 3 points. What would be a third consecutive clean sheet as well. It's actually really well controlled by Brandon Borello, even though he's on the floor, and he's got a free kick for his troubles. Changes afoot, and Tamar Sayam, who's been one of Palestine's better players tonight, takes his leave. Islam Batran to replace him. He's toiled hard. He came closest of any Palestinian to breaking through, forcing that fine save out of Matt Ryan in first half stoppage time. Wasteful free kick from Australia. Now they've got to scramble back because the counter-attack is on. Sutar again is across to provide the necessary cover, and even to ensure that Palestine can't take a quick throw. That's real professionalism.
Well, he was always odds on, wasn't he?
Here comes the cross. He needs Kai Rolls to help out there. Chase his own kick on through. Scoop through the middle and foul. Simi Kumba over Riga and all over the top of his opponent.
Well, it wasn't a bad run, was it? It just drifted off the shoulder. Harry Sutar. Miller just did enough to get back and get his body between the attacker and the ball.
If Australia do go on to win this one, Macca, I don't think it's a performance that will win too many beauty prizes, but that's sometimes just what you have to do in an away World Cup qualifier. Get the points.
Yeah, exactly right. The ultimate aim, the 3 points.
Hello, manages to keep that alive, nodded down by Metcalf. Duke can't turn, and Irvine can't hit the target, but Australia, I think, will get a corner.
There's another good opportunity with a good ball in, and Mitch Duke held the ball up from the nod down, and Terminini with the desperation with the block as Jackson Irvine came in to tuck it into that side netting.
So Sutar again will attract lots of attention. And that open up the space for somebody else, as it did for Jordan Boss. Keanu Backus is complaining of a little elbow to the ribs. So referee Kasim Al-Hatmi has a bit of sorting out to do before Conor Metcalfe can deliver. Good to go. There's a whole cluster of players around the goalkeeper. Metcalfe puts it right in that spot, and Irvine nods wide. Wouldn't have counted anyway, whistle had gone.
It's been no holds barred in those 6-yard areas on corners, isn't it?
Of chances created, Macca. Australia probably should be further in front. There's a little tangle between Miller and Kunbar. And Miller is the player who's penalised. And this is a big opportunity here for Palestine.
Yeah. Well, I think Lewis Miller was fouled.
I think he was fouled first.
In the first instance, and then blocked the run here. He was waiting for the foul there, it didn't come, and then runs across. The referee's seen that as a foul as we look back at the missed header from Irvine, but it was a foul on the keeper. And this is a real dangerous situation for the Socceroos now.
Five minutes to go in Kuwait. Socceroos lead. A precious but a narrow one. And they must defend this set piece. Hamady, of all people, is down after that previous challenge. Got a bit of a problem. Not for long. All rather baffling.
His teammates were saying, "Get up! We want to go. We want to take this free kick."
Followed with the shoulder. Just increases the tension really a bit for Australia as they wait to defend this free kick. Another change to be made by Palestine. Mahmoud Wadi is going to replace Zaid Kunbar. Wadi, a player who plays for the Arab contractors in Egypt. 6'2" and nicknamed the Tower. So maybe that's why they're sending him on at this precise moment. Here's the free kick from Al-Battat, and Mitch Duke sends it away from danger. Irvine gets it further clear. Jordy Boss commits the foul. Entering now or never territory for Palestine.
We can see the desperation now. Every time the ball's stopped or free kick, the Palestinians running quickly to get the ball. They know they're still in with a shot.
There's Al-Battat. They've hung in there in their difficult moments. Good run by the fullback. The cross was beyond Karoub, and Metcalfe gets it out of harm's way. Still more work to do defensively for the Socceroos. By no means home and host just yet. This is Ode Dabai. Saldana, his cross is charged down, but with the arm of Keanu Backus, another free kick for Palestine.
You can see the arm raised there.
Palestine need a good delivery from Saldana. Salah, Termanini waits. Saldana's delivery. Fraction too deep, if you ask me, but still there. Back in it comes Sutar again with an important clearing header. And a miscue on the edge of the box by Mahmoud Wadi, and Palestine wants a penalty. Referee Qasim Al-Hatmi completely unmoved. And they will continue those protests. Let's have another look at it.
It's just an air swing, isn't it, for mine? As you see, Brandon Barello just comes out really to block it, and there's no contact there at all. If anything, it's the follow through from the shot.
He's kicked into Barello, hasn't he?
Exactly. And they're certainly making life difficult for the Socceroos, aren't they?
We're into the 90th minute of the game. Backus to spring forward. Duke. Position for the return. So too was Termanini. Jamie McLaren is one of those standing by to come on. Aidan O'Neill, the other player, if the ball goes dead. It's lovely skill. Abu Wada. There's no foul. Mahmoud Wadi. And there is going to be 5 minutes, or a minimum thereof, to be added on. Palestine desperately trying to extend this long unbeaten home record in Asian qualifiers. It's going to be Matty Ryans. And maybe Macca, they will thank their goalkeeper and captain as much as anybody, Australia, if they do win this game, for that quite brilliant save in first half stoppage time.
Yeah, it was a great save. For all money to be the equaliser just before going into the break. Probably Harry Sutar is probably another man they can thank. Like, he got the goal, but he's won everything at the back, hasn't he?
Sent forward by Termanini. Good header won by that man, the tower, Mahmoud Wadi. Sutar in exactly the right position once again. Socceroos not able to stick hold of the ball, and too often that's been the case tonight. Salah angles it out towards Saldana. Barello working hard to try and keep Palestine penned in. Given away by Miller. Oh, that's lovely. From Saldana. The cross, fortunately for Palestine, doesn't match it.
It was a little tired, that cross, wasn't it? He could have driven with the ball. Tried to whip it in early. Ryan always the favourite there.
Dying embers of a patchy performance by Graham Arnold's team, but one that's, at the moment at least, has them zeroing in on 3 points, 3 precious points. A little bit of extra insurance, maybe just time wasting at the end. Not going to be barely time for Jamie McLaren or Aidan O'Neill to pick up any sweat as they replace Keanu Backus and Mitch Duke respectively. no hurry to take this throw either. How do you assess the Australian performance overall tonight, Macca?
Oh, look, Simon, well, you said it earlier. The ultimate aim is 3 points. If it remains as it is, they've achieved that. It's not going to win any points for being easy on the eye or a dominating performance. Palestinians have shown that it's very difficult, as we know from past adventures. It's not easy to come and pick up the points, to dominate matches against these nations.
Once again, the Java Al Ahmad Stadium in Kuwait City is, with a minute to go, proving to be a happy hunting ground for the Socceroos. They won 4 out of 4 during the COVID-affected World Cup qualifiers of 2021. Barring a late goal here for Palestine, they are going to claim the 3 points back at the same venue 2 years on. Miller's long throw off the head of Salah. Is it going to drop here for Jordy Boss to finish it? But no, straight at Hamady, who knows that time is of the essence, but he's not quite accurate enough with his release, and that might just be about that. And there we go, and in the end, it was really a case of never mind the performance, feel the result. 2 wins from 2, 6 points and a 6 thanks to Harry Sutar's first half goal. A perfect start to Australia's World Cup quest, as Palestine, who toiled hard tonight, were edged out by Graham Arnold's team. The World Cup can be put on the back burner now until March next year. Next up, the Asian Cup in January in Qatar for the Socceroos. It wasn't the most fluent of performances, and Palestine, to be fair to them, made life pretty tough for the green and gold, but in the end, that combination once again, Craig Goodwin's delivery and Harry Sutar's header from the set piece, were enough to claim all 3 points for the Socceroos. Full time in Kuwait City, Palestine 0, Australia 1.
So the Socceroos make it 2 from 2 as they kick off their qualification to the World Cup in 2026. 1-0 as you heard the final score. And yes, the man with the best set piece in the green and gold whips it in to Harry Sutar, arguably the tallest Socceroo. I think he's taller than Cameron Burgess, but he is a big bopper. Far from convincing Luke Wiltshire and Alex Brosk. At times it looked as though the Socceroos were going to let that lead slide, but they walk away and they get it done.
I think that's going to be the takeaway, isn't it? It's the 3 points. The job is done. By all means, it wasn't a fantastic performance, less than convincing. And you know, look, we touched on it, Broski, that going into the back end of that second half, and Palestine were pushing. Had they got an equaliser, you couldn't really begrudge them if they did manage to do that.
No, and if they had, I mean, it was fully deserved as well. I mean, they pushed, and the longer it stayed 1-0, the more they felt that their chance was coming, but it was just a lack of quality for them. You know, no one really that ever looked like scoring, and to be fair, the only time they did, Matty Ryan was there to stop it.
And when we talk about our chances, you know, again here we see Jordy Boss off set pieces. That was when we were most threatening. We didn't carve out any clear opportunities apart from the one Borrello had, and you know, we saw again Palestine were pushing. We had to defend desperately at times. Harry Sutar was phenomenal again, both obviously in attack, scoring the goal, but also defending the box. And we need him, like I said, him and Matty Ryan.
Yeah, I think as well, I mean, we touched on it at half-time, that, you know, just how difficult these games can be. And again, a reminder, not just for us here watching it, but I think for them, you know, I think for the players who probably thought after a 7-0 win that they'd go over there and cruise. But look, it was anything but that. The performance was flat. The movement wasn't the same. There was no sharpness to any of it, and completely understandable. Again, we're not going to expect a 7-0 and a great fluid performance every single time. sometimes it's just about getting the win and moving on.
Yeah, Palestine, they were asking so many questions. Tamar Sayam, then number 9. In particular, it was Maddie Ryan's fingertips that kept Australia in the lead on the 18th minute mark, and it was copy-paste really from what we saw against Bangladesh last Thursday night. Craig Goodwin, Harry Sutar, easy as you like. A set piece, so another goal from a set piece team. This is becoming the thing.
It is. And look, you know, we touched on before, you play to your strengths, and when you've got someone who can deliver a ball like Craig Goodwin can, and you've got someone like Harry Sutar that heads the ball like he does, then you got to use that weapon. And you know, especially in against the Asian nations, the qualifiers, with the height and the physical prowess that we have, you got to make most of it, and we've done that yet again.
And it'd be so deflating for them as well, because up until that point, we hadn't looked like doing anything, and Palestine, for the most part, was showing more, I think, going forward. And then out of nowhere, I mean, they would do their homework on marking Harry Sutar and sometimes doubling up on him. There's just nothing you can do, to be honest. So, you know, while we've got Craig Goodwin and that delivery on the pitch and Harry Sutar out there, we're always going to be a threat.
It's difficult, and against opposition like we have seen this morning, evening over there, you're reluctant then, because of Goodwin and Sutar and that combination together, to take either of them off, right? When you think about who came on in the second half, who was going to add something up top, you think you keep those two on, because that could be the route to goal yet again, and it's most likely to be the route to goal yet again as we look at the match stats. Harry Sutar, of course, with his 10th international goal in his 22nd international game. It was a really competitive, it was a really strong performance from Palestine. They could have jagged the goal very, very easily.
Well, you see there, you just look at the stats there. Final third entries, 55-44 in Palestine's favour. Crosses 26-15, 108 passes in the final third compared to Australia's 88, which actually shows that Palestine were the more threatening team throughout the match.
They absolutely were, Broski.
Look, there was definitely more intent from them. There was more of a sharpness every time they had the ball to go forward again. Just that lack of quality, which, to be fair, we weren't showing either in the front third. We weren't showing much, you know, in terms of ball movement and creating chances. But look, I mean, possession, we shaded it because we kept the ball, we kept it moving. We're up 1-0, so they had to come out a little bit. Again, just flat. We'll take the points and move on.
We'll take the points and we'll focus on the Asian Cup in January. That is what we are going to do. All right, we're off to a short break. Don't forget the A-Leagues. They return this weekend with a huge Sydney derby.
And off we go. Sydney FC and Western Sydney Wanderers get it on again. And still, Cassini Yengi!
Past one on his left foot, let's fly! First blood in the derby, and it's sky blue!
Ewan against his former club. A howitzer into the top corner. And it comes, and Lafondra with 10 minutes to go. Is that the crucial blow?
Great City, it was the Socceroos that got the job done against Palestine. Was it all that convincing? No, it wasn't as ruthless as what we saw a couple of days earlier in Melbourne against Bangladesh, 7-0, but 1-0 the final score, and that is job done as the Socceroos continue their road to the World Cup to qualify in 2026, and they do sit top of the pops looking at Group I. Lebanon and Bangladesh played out a draw earlier in the evening as well. That one just wrapped. So they're sitting pretty at the top of the group, being the Socceroos. They'll next face towards January in Qatar, where it is the Asian Cup. They kick that off against India, and World Cup qualifying will recommence, I should say, back in March. Well, let's now hear from the gaffer. Michael Zapponi is with Graham Arnold.
Well, Graham, an important 3 points on the road. What did you make of the team's performance tonight in very difficult circumstances?
Mate, it's exactly what I predicted and thought, that Palestine, we're going to come out that type of energy, that type of work rate and fight, and you've got to give full credit to Palestine. Probably we didn't play our best, but most important thing was the 3 points.
In terms of the structure of the team tonight and areas for improvement, what do you want to look at?
Yeah, look, I think that game was really a fight for the second ball game. They had 4 up front, they got a couple of big boys. They smashed it long, and we were getting ready for the second ball. And I think we can do better. But again, I'm very proud of the boys after everything off the field that we've gone through. Getting this game planned late. Everything late, and the fact that we got it done is the main thing.
Once again, a set piece proved important for you tonight. How much work do you put into that, and how much is Harry a focus? We saw Harry score, but then Geordie Boss hit the crossbar as well with another set piece.
No, look, set pieces are crucial, especially when you've got someone Harry Souta's size, height, then the delivery's important. And Craig Goodwin's delivery on that corner was fantastic. But, I'll have a bit of a break now, a bit of a reflection on everything, and I'll look forward to that.
Thanks for joining us.
Cheers.
Well, we heard it there, of course. Set pieces are crucial. They are well and truly the way forward when it comes to what the Socceroos have been dishing up in front of goal. It'll be interesting as well as they face ahead to the Asian Cup in January, team, because the opposition is going to be quite similar in terms of top-tier Asian opposition throughout Southeast Asia. And it's going to be challenging yet again over in Qatar. I'm just wondering if there are... I mean, we saw it against Bangladesh, yes, which were the second in terms of ranking, the second lowest ranked team that the Socceroos have played. But when it does get trickier, that route to goal, is it going to be over-reliant on a set piece, on the set piece being that route to goal?
At the moment, we sort of are. You've seen it there tonight. We struggled to create clear-cut opportunities from open play. The likes of Goodwin in open play, Boyle, Metcalf tonight this morning were a little bit disappointing and lacklustre. We need that little bit more creativity and spark to be able to open teams up, because we're going to face that in the Asian Cup.
You are stewing over there, Broski. What's going on?
No, nothing. Look, I do think it will be different. I think in a tournament in Qatar where we're so comfortable as well, the quality of the pitches that we'll be playing at, it'll be different. There's no travel concerns like what we had here. I mean, it does take it out of you, Lukey. I don't care that they're travelling business class and getting massages in the back of the plane. It's still, you're on a plane and you feel heavy when you land, and you've only got another day or two to prepare. All those things. Again, Arnie spoke about the second ball there, but, that's where the quality of the pitch becomes an issue. If you don't get that ball down and move it quickly, and you're constantly having to worry about your touches, then it makes it hard to move the ball around. These guys have come out with incredible amount of energy and made it hard for us. They pressed us high, forced us into turning over possession a lot. Look, I don't think we've got any concerns heading into the Asian Cup in terms of putting in performances like this.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you look at what the Asian Cup will dish up, and I know the surrounds and the ground and where you are in Kuwait, they are familiar with that ground though, having played against Kuwait there in the lead up to the last World Cup. Let's get some more reaction now from over in Kuwait and hear from Harry Souttar.
We know that strikers like to keep account of how many goals they score. Harry, are you keeping account? That's 10 now, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Great feeling to be on the score sheet again. I never take it for granted, Scoring for your country is, something really special, and it's just getting sweeter and sweeter. Obviously, a win tonight, I don't think we were best pleased with our performance. I think we can play a lot better. But it's a great lesson for us as a team. A couple of the new guys coming into the squad about playing games away in Asia. This is what you're going to face, long balls. I don't want to be making excuses, but obviously it's a very different to the home games, Bangladesh games. And if you want to go through and qualify, these are the games you've got to win. We stood up to the task, and at the end of the day we won the game, but we know as a group and a squad we can play a whole lot better.
When you look at those set pieces from an attacking sense, obviously you're a target, but there was a few times tonight that the referee stopped things. There's a lot of body work off the ball. How much work do you put into those set pieces in preparation for a game like tonight?
Yeah, I think with not a lot of training sessions, a lot of it is tactical, and we know one of our main strengths is set pieces. Now, sometimes, obviously, that can be used as a bit of a decoy if they're going to put 2 or 3 men on me. And listen, we've got Dookie, Jacko, Cam Borges, Kai, great headers of the ball. So sometimes I've just got to go away and take men away, and hopefully they can come at the back. We had a couple other chances tonight. And yeah, listen, we'll score when we can, especially away from home. Set pieces are so important, and it's something that we as a group kind of feel every time we get an attacking free kick or a corner, that we can at least get a shot on target and try and hopefully get a goal.
And your defensive work tonight was outstanding as well, your positioning. Do you feel like these 2 games have been valuable for you going back to clubland?
Yeah, massive. I'm just so happy to be back on the grass and playing. And just getting that kind of hunger and winning feeling back, there's nothing like it. And yeah, just delighted. I thought the whole kind of back four was great tonight and stood up to the task. They were a big physical side, but But I think as a group and the two midfielders in front of us, really stood up to the task. Can I just say something as well?
Yeah, obviously, go.
I know my girlfriend's granny's in hospital at the moment. She's had a really tough time, so I just want to say, hopefully you get better soon, June, and I'm thinking about you.
Oh, sweet message from Harry Suter to June there, and he is a pivotal point for the Socceroos defence. He is a big anchor at the back. When he is alongside Cameron Burgess, watch out. It is the Tower of Terror. Australia v India, this is what's heading your way. The Asian Cup, it kicks off in January, Saturday the 13th. Australia kicks off their campaign against India live from 10:30pm. All of the games live and exclusive right here on Network 10 and Paramount Plus. So it is 2 from 2. The Socceroos did get it done against Bangladesh 7-0, and then it was 1-0 tonight against Palestine. Team, thank you so much for your company this morning. We got it done. Right? I think we got there in the end.
I think it might be time for
You're still asking me how you qualify for the World Cup in 2026, and I'll get back to you in a text message. Thank you so much for joining us at home, and enjoy all the A-Leagues that is heading away across the weekend. See you soon.
I've seen a lot of things. I've been hearing about your show.